Hello everyone and welcome back to Friday Night StarCraft. Finally it's happened, IEM Katovice. So we've now got new games, new maps, and the World Championships to cast. I'm gonna start off not with the best game. I haven't seen most of them living in Australia and, you know, working and enjoying sleeping meant that I wasn't able to watch much. I've seen a couple of games and I noticed that this was the first game they showed on stream. So I decided I'll cast this one for those who want to see this tournament from the start. There were obviously other games going on at the same time, but this is the game they showed on the main screen. Scarlett and Classic. Round of 36. Almost the play-in tournament. I feel is not a bad way of describing it. Regardless, Classic starting off with, well, that's an Elite Forge. Scarlett does the usual of taking the third base as the natural. And where are you off to? Good probe. Of course, because you just take the third. Yep. Gets the cannon, gets the pylon now. Still no vision. That won't be for another little bit. Overlord. Alright, so Scarlett's gonna know something's up now. But with no spawning full yet, not much you can do about it. As cannon goes down, gonna start peppering the hatch when it finishes. So now Scarlett knows exactly where it is, but I think we can safely say that hatchery might get a queen out and not much more. Classic. First probe is gonna continue being a pain in the ass. Yeah, Scarlett kind of needs to stop that from happening. The expansion might be a little bit keen. Sees the cyber core going down. Obviously, Queen is just going to immediately evacuate. Zerglings, make sure they don't die with the probe. Queen will... Yeah, you're going to have to get that Queen moved. Not gonna save that hatchery, Scarlett. I'm not sure it's... Well, that's aggressive. Well, Scarlett responding to losing the third base by taking a newer, sexier third base. The drones will make their way around. That pylon will eventually go down, and once that happens, the cannons will be able to clean up. Not too much damage done there. Classic spent 400 minerals to shut down 300 minerals worth of... 350, I suppose, if you include the drone, worth of hatchery. Definitely could have been a lot worse. Meanwhile, Lings. Where are these guys heading off to? Running across the middle of the map. What are they going to do once they get there? Circling speed is finished. A little bit hard to see the wings on these. Ah, there they are. Don't know why I couldn't see the wings. Regardless. Oracle building on the other side, a depth building on the other side. Warp gate is not quite done. Cannon did slow him down. So 2 adepts. Oracle. Flying across the map. Scarlett has managed to do a good job with the creep spread now. Sitting on 3 bases. Whoops, apologies. Oracle. Other one. There we go. Comes in. Doesn't manage to get a drone. Now, 2 oracles. There we go. We got 2 kills on one, no kills on the other. they're going to continue flying around. While Zerglings are sitting between the third and there's enough adepts to just straight up kill all those Zerglings. Scarlet's, oh, another bunch of workers going down. 6 workers, 5 drones there going down in a very short period. Did any of the Zerglings make it out? Scarlett has 2 Zerglings and there are 4 adepts. It's marching across. Scarlett must have been looking completely the wrong way. Attacking the Spore Crawler first. They're just gonna try and fight the queens in the... Okay, oh, get out, yeah. 3 of the adepts get out. Another 5 drones going down in Scarlett's face. This is not good. Could be a very, very poor start to this tournament. Scarlett trying to kill some adepts here. They do manage to shake back behind the minerals. They are going to go down, but now the oracles are back. 2 more adepts are warping in. And honestly, a spot where they could kill about 45 Zerglings before going down. Scarlett continuing to push across the map, trying to put some pressure down. But I'm not sure she's got enough workers to keep this pressure up, and definitely down an army supply. Quite badly. Meanwhile, sentries, stalkers, immortals all warping in. And I don't think that Zergling Roach is really going to cut it. There's already a Warp Prism out. It's got the Immortal in it. And I don't think this match is going to last too long once that Immortal makes its way across the map. Big warp in of Stalkers. No blink. That is relevant. However, that is a big army. It's just going to push in. Scarlett. I'm not sure that Overlord was worth transfusing there. Force fields going down. Not achieving a huge amount. Some good corrosive piles. Getting some decent hits. Sentries all down now, but the Zealots warping in. Spore Crawler just taking up room, and then all the Roaches are down, all the Zerglings are down, just a handful of Ravagers left. Scarlet, classic, moves towards the new third. Takes down the Gas Geyser, takes down the Hatchery. Splits off a small force to deal with Scarlet's reinforcements. They're not quite enough to deal with the reinforcements as the main army comes back. More units going down. Drones pulled, but they might take a few shots, but they're really not going to achieve much. As more corrosive vials trying to land, but Classic just has too much here, I think. He's just going to force his way through. Valiant defense from Scarlett, but not enough. There's a quick one there from Classic. But onwards we go. We head over to Babylon now for game 2. Classic starting in the bottom right, Scarlett in the top left. So, very fast and aggressive game that last one. Classic not hanging around at all. Not wanting to let Scarlett build up. And, well, that is an early probe, so we could be seeing more of the same in this one. Although it could also just be doing the traditional strategy of just being a pain for the Zerg and not letting them take their natural. I do find it amusing the way the Zergs just don't even try to take their natural nowadays. They just proceed directly to their third. Just like, yeah, it's not gonna happen. I'm just heading to my third. I'm almost expecting, like, I don't know, I guess if the probe goes to the third, you send another drone to take your natural. But surely the natural evolution of this strategy is to send out, is to, you know, then send the probe to the third and be a pain there. I could be wrong, but suppose it might delay your actual scouting if you follow that drone too much, but who am I to say? I do look forward to the day when I see it where it's just like this probe just following the drone around for a minute until the Zerg player gives up and sends a second drone. Regardless, much more standard start from Classic here. Getting the Cybercore second, rather than the Forge that we saw last time. Scarlett, I think, very happy to see that. Probe continues just being annoying. I think it's fair to say. Stargate opener from Classic. That Overlord probably, it'll be Oracle, won't it? Regardless. Classic continuing to be a pain and trying to stop the natural getting taken as the third. Won't succeed in this occasion, but still very annoying to deal with. Classic getting her bases, getting her economy built up. Does have a few extra Zerglings at this point. Oh, actually, no, that's probably true. Oh, that's a unit tractor? I thought. Oh no, because it counts Queens as attacking units, doesn't it? Which isn't wrong, but regardless, Overlord, will he make it to the pillar? No. Honestly, that looked like it was on high ground. I haven't played this map enough to say for sure if that's just not actually high ground or something else happened there. Regardless, Oracle shown. Scarlett knows the Stargate happened. Possibly, oh no, didn't really. Might have had view on the warp gate timing, so might have been able to tell from that. Won't, however, know about the third base going down behind it. She's building that queen count, putting down a few spores, continuing to build up that economy, building the odd settlings here and there. However, now the Oracle moves out. Both of them. Any kills on either of them? Okay, one Oracle kill so far. Probably a Zergling. Play in. Decide that 2 queens are not what they want to play into. Continuing to move around, continuing to get spotted by the Overlords as well, which I feel like a lot of damage could be done with like 2 Phoenixes right now. Zergling run by heading across the map, just trying to get an idea of what's happening, but pretty solid wall up there now. 3 Adepts coming in the bottom side. Oh, 4, 5 drones going down in the natural there. That is not good. The Adepts head up towards the top. Queens are here to meet them this time. It's more Adepts, more drones going down. This time to the Adepts. On the bottom side. Shade. Don't think that Shade's going to finish. No. Decides not to go in there. However, gets a huge stasis trap. Scarlett doing the same thing we were and looking the wrong way. That's about 2 queens. About 10 drones, I think, caught in that stasis. That's not good. Zergling run by. Attempt to get something done on the other side. It's just going to run into an absolute wall. As Oracles run in. Don't get a huge amount done at this stage. As then the question is he going to try and stasis them again? Because that could be absolutely devastating. Oh, he's putting it down. Doesn't quite get the timing. Scarlett able to defuse that one. Going down in the natural now. Oh, gets another 6, I believe, as... Oh, okay, never mind. It's just Stalkers and Immortals moving in. I'm sorry. Yeah, Scarlett not at all positioned to deal with this. Classic just force filling out any semblance of defense. Yeah, takes down. That base is gone. Scarlett has no chance of building up anything behind it. And Classic kind of steamrolls Scarlett 2-0 in about 15 minutes. So I'm going to have to work out exactly what I'm going to do now, but thank you for being here, and hope to see you again. Alright, guys. So I made a bit of a decision. Mostly, anyway. So, I'm taking another game from the very start of this tournament. This one is Jean in bottom right playing Protoss against the Terra and Coffee in the top left. Back on Babylon again. As Jean is trying to steal all of the time I was taking to explain things by moving a probe across the map immediately. Regardless, what I have decided is that I am going to cast a second game this week because I want to do more than 15 minutes of casting. So, you will find out when this comes out, whether this is coming out as one video or as two. Either way, it will come out on Friday this week. I have decided that much. I'll probably combine them because I think that's more fun to get everything in one video. And yeah, that way we get more than just a single 15-minute video for the week. Coffee, very suspicious of this probe and how ridiculously early it got to his base. As really wants to get his barracks down. Could be going for a factory transition here because he did get... No, he's just building a Reaper. He got his gas quite early, so I wasn't exactly sure what he was planning on doing with it. Ajian's just gonna be a bit of a pain. Gets his own natural down. And forces Coffee to build his in his main. Which, well, is the thing you can do as a Terran. It's never something you want to do as a Terran. Very fast factory as well. And out comes the Reaper. As we see the first action of the game. Despite the really early probe pull, I was expecting at least a proxy pylon somewhere. Regardless, Reaper runs in the front door, finds an adept. That's not a fight he can take. Oh, this shade is going to get right on top of him. Is it gonna? No, it doesn't manage to get the second shot off. However, this shade will go the wrong way. But it's just going to move across the map. Meanwhile, Coffee will see a Reaper Cliff, doesn't attempt to jump in. 2 Marines will, and a Widow Mine will see off that adept. Oh, never mind, he did manage to get in. Sneaks in past the Reaper Wall, and immediately dies to a Stalker. Well, he saw the Twilight. It's something. Meanwhile, a couple of Widow Mines burrow their way at the front door. Mansion moving out. Jean getting a couple of gateways down. Keeps building up. So we enter the tech stage of the game. Oh, never mind. We enter the drop stage of the game. Coffee moving across with Widow Mine and a bunch of Marines. And is okay. I thought that Widow Mine was chasing, just waving his torch up at the dropship. Please let me in. Ooh, Widow Mine. Gonna be an important part of getting this medevac unloaded. Gonna make this a bit of a hassle to deal with. Is he gonna get that pylon? That'll hold up Blink, which is definitely gonna be on the list of things that you do not want to have happen. Walks forward, ooh, takes a big Widowmine hit. And I think that drop paid for itself. Delaying Blink like that is a big deal. For the loss of a Widowmine. Yeah, take that deal. Even gets a bit of a supply block off on Cham. Engineering Bay coming down. Just the one. Getting a few more barracks. A few more tanks. A lot more Marines. Do have the Raven on the way. This is, of course, finally on the new patch, so we do have that cheaper Raven. It will be interesting to see exactly what Coffee wants to do with it. Raven remains as versatile as before, obviously. Just a bit cheaper, builds a lot faster. Oh, that medevac was not in the right place. He's got the Observer, he does. Always nice to do. Keeps the tanks at the back. Meanwhile, gonna beeline for the third phase. Link Micro continues, yeah, he gets the tank. I was gonna say, wondering when he was gonna get the tank sieged up. Shield battery overcharge has gone down here. Blink's forward on top of the tanks. Oh, did catch one of them on siege, but he's taking a huge amount of damage on these stalkers. He's got both of them. Treats the shield battery overcharge. Raven coming out. Drops a... Yeah, that was never going to do much. I'm not sure what the plan was with that copy. The Stalker's going to chase this back across the map. Good job of forcing out some damage here. And this drop has been very heavily punished. However, Coffee is building literally everything behind this. As... Ooh, these Stalkers push their way into the base. Not much here to defend right now. Few SCVs get pulled. He's going to be just enough. Just bait the SCVs forward. Mortal. Okay. Get one. Get two Widow Mines. That's a big deal for pushing in here. Pulling the Immortal back, yeah, with that sort of health on it, don't blame him. Picks up a few more Marines. Forces the SCV pull. And runs away. Definitely force through a bit more damage here. Stalkers are... I think they're going to have to actually run away this time. It's just not enough here. Two Immortals are out though. Colossus coming. Colossus can be very good in this situation because there is not a lot of anything. And Colossi do quite well against things that are weak to splash damage when there isn't huge, massive amounts of it. Very good at dealing with Marines. Not as good against Marauders, but they can. Widow Mines aren't terribly effective generally. They can be. Regardless. Bosses marches to the front. Coffee. Moving the medevac in. Going for the backstab. Boosts in. Oh, I like that. I like the scan on the third. Ooh, does manage to get that down, but not going to achieve much with it. Gets two probes. That will be cleaned up here by these Zealots walking in. Oh, never mind. He needs an observer. Oh, he's building a cannon. That will be enough. Just barely get that down in time. Oh, the command center. We're considerably later for Coffee than Jounds. And that that is not going to be fun for Coffee to deal with what he has right now. He needs Vikings. He needs a lot more Marauders. He needs some tanks as well, but he's just sticking with the Widow Mines. Widow Mines are quite good, yes, but I see Orbital going down. Zealot, not going to do much. However, Zarkon gets pushed all the way to the front lines, as these Zealots are going to clean up all of these reinforcements. Going to send some Zealots up to kill SCVs at the third. The rest of the army is just going to barrel on into the main. Zealots coming back to rejoin the army. Xian with this big Zealot Stalker Immortal Ball, yeah. Kills 20 workers of the natural. That'll be game 1. Game 2 now is on Gresvan, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the biggest map. This map feels huge anyway. And of course, Xian responds to this map being huge by, well, putting down a pylon for a Reaper wall, and then just also immediately sending a worker across the map. And Coffee is going to respond in kind. This is some pathing that takes us over here. No, maybe... Oh, up here. Which, I mean, I'm going to assume that's an engineering bay, because if that's, if that's where he's planning on proxy rexing, that's, let's just say aggressive. Yeah, he's getting barracks in his main, so I think this is going to be, I mean, it could be a bunker. Still very aggressive, yes. He's essentially evac blocking. He's just gonna make Xian upset. Coffee forces Xian away. Xian, despite having that scout, never got a huge amount. He didn't notice this until now, and now he has to deal with it. He will deal with it, and he will eventually successfully deal with it. Well, that probe getting in is annoying. That's not what you want. Base is getting probed, and yeah, that. No one has ever enjoyed it. Forces cancel on the eBay. Built a Reaper? No, he built an SCV first. Getting his factory. Off of one base. No expansion down yet. Curious to see. Got his 2 Marines back here. Did significantly delay the expansion. And has used that time to go for aggression. Rather than macro like you would normally expect. He is getting a CC after his factory, but that still is quite a delayed command center. But he's gotten tech in response to that delay, unlike Xian, who has merely gotten delay. Speaking of tech, however, what are we seeing from our Protoss player today? It will be a Stargate. Xian moving across. You will see that there's no base yet, and take shots from a couple of Marines. Saw the reacted factory here, though. He knows Hellions are on their way. And he knows that he has a Stargate, which isn't brilliant at killing Hellions. I mean, enough Phoenixes will do it. But it's difficult to have more Phoenixes than they have Hellions at this stage of the game. Looks like it's just gonna move across the map with 4. Probably transition into, yeah. The barracks is transitioning into bio here. Still no Stargate. Starport, sorry. Hellions rolling on in. What are they gonna find? They just proceed directly to the main. They do not pass go. They do not collect $200. They do, however, collect 4 probes. 5. Might get another couple. 7. Gets an 8th. Will he get any? No, he just gets 8. Which is exactly the cost of 4 Hellions. Not to mention, he got a good scout. He saw the Phoenixes. Or at least one of them, anyway. I believe he saw a second. That's kind of a big deal. He knows what he has to deal with now. He knows it was Stargate. So, he gets a Cyclone to help deal with them. I'd probably want a second if I were him, to be honest. Moves in. Forces the Phoenixes back. The Deaths are going to try and move in. One of them is going to go for down for their trouble. Marines moving around in clumps, making sure they don't get isolated by these Phoenixes. Cyclone, trolling around, making sure he doesn't get picked up. Very big deal here to not get picked up. And not let these Phoenixes get too much damage done in the work line. You could lose an SCV here and there, but you can't afford to lose much more than that because he is economically a fair bit behind. I know he has mules, but mules are not literally the be-all and end-all. I am wondering if that was a proxy Stargate attempt. Sorry. Keep saying Stargate. Starport. Which he is now finally building in his main. And his Phoenix is going to come around the back. Okay, yep, okay. It's that time. Does he even have stim? He does have stim. So he's just getting combat shields. He's just getting a bunch of tanks. He is bringing the boys. And he is going to try and bust down this door. Phoenixes are a little bit out of position, but they're quick enough. They'll get back in. These tanks are coming down. There is not going to be a huge amount to deal with all of these SCVs as Colossus is less than halfway done. Probes get pulled, but they're not going to do well against siege tanks. Depower's a gateway. Gonna finish off the Robo, and Shaun says that's enough. Game 3 it is. Righto, folks. This is Game 3. This is Ancient System. Shaun starting in the top right of yet another really big map. They really like the big maps in these map pools. And in the bottom left, it's coffee. And we have another very early probe. Is this just how Protoss play? I haven't seen a huge amount of Protoss is playing, but I feel like every game so far has just been like immediate probe pull. I'm here to kill workers. And I mean, yes, the probe is the most overpowered worker, but there's gotta be more to it than that, right? Regardless, probe gonna get kind of chased out of the base. Shaun trying to do some micro. Not really succeeding. However, his shields will regen. And I assume he's going to turn around for another fight. Because that's just how Protoss players play, apparently. Regardless. Gateway going down. Cybercore going down. Really doesn't seem to want Hellions running around in his base. This is like some old school Zerg macro. Probe continues running around. Will not manage to stop the expansion going down. Coffee scares him off. Both sides, Expo continuing on with their days. Reaper will come out now, forming the usual Terran strategy of looking very threatening on the other side of the map and ultimately achieving absolute nothing. As he jumps up and down the designated areas for jumping up and down. You're not allowed to do it anywhere else. It's in the Union rules, I think. I'm not sure. Regardless. Oh, juked out the adept there, but didn't realize it. And as a result, going to force Xian to do probe micro before he finally manages to kill one, and will die to the second adept. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, bunker has been built, to which Xian will say, that's nice, I'll just stand over here where you can't get to me. Is that meant to be threatening? He does leave eventually, because eventually there'll be enough Marines to kill him. However, when there are two adepts, well, that's a bit of a different story. As the door will get slammed in his face again. Sending these shades in one at a time. And Coffee not really paying attention there, lets that one in. We'll get a very good scout off, and we'll even kill a 1, 2. So you get more. No. Gets 2, and he gets out. Marine's not moving out in time to catch him. Low health Marine over here, probably picked a fight with the other adept. Stalkers moving in to replace the adepts moving across. Adepts coming back home. They've got to have their R&R. They're on R&R. They're on leave. Meanwhile, Stalkers are rotating back to the front lines. Continue the siege of the Terran. Who now has a siege tank, so he's going to win that siege. However, standing outside the front door does give you a pretty good idea of if he tries to expand any further, or obviously you'll see him whenever he moves out. Unless he does something really weird with just loading everything into medevacs, but we don't particularly see that happening at this stage. This tank back here is, I'm not entirely sure if he's here for run-bys or if there's a big blink. Either way, he's in a position that is rather difficult to get to. +1 attack. Robo Bay coming up now for Xian. We already have the Twilight. Do we have Blink yet? Yes, we have Blink. Of course we have Blink. Scan's going down. I believe he saw the Robo Bay. I just want to have a quick look. Yeah, he saw that Robo Bay. He'll have clicked on that. He'll know what's coming. Colossus is the answer to what is coming at this point. Observer notices a fair bit here. The Stalkers are really what notices this push out coming. Observer will just slide out of the way there. They don't really want to be involved. Pick off a Marine or two. Next, when one man stems, the next group will, yeah. Oh yep, forces to siege up the tanks there, which is nice. Observer notices the P up and forced the drop. Meanwhile, this push getting slowed down significantly here in the middle of the map. Of the shield batteries going down to the third, it's going to make that a lot easier to hold. Coffee decides that maybe this push isn't going to work out. Decides to head on home. Stalkers are out here trying to work out what happened to that army. Well, they found out. As one Stalker melts instantaneously. Marines and Marauders, another group, pulls him forward. Does manage to blink away from custom shells, not quite finished yet, so he's not going to be able to chase down those stalkers. Unless he really commits to it. However, Xian responding with another bigger group of stalkers. And deciding that he would like to get some actual scouting done, sends in the hallucinated Phoenix. Coffee. Sending out some Marines. Just trying to get an idea of the base count. Suspect he's got a good idea that he's down a base at this point. And I feel like he really should either be trying to force the issue somewhere, or needing that base yesterday. Because there are 2 Colossus and a Disruptor up. There are 7 gateways up. There's a decent Stalker Ball heading around the map now. And yes, he's got 5 siege tanks. But eventually Xian will just have enough to kill that. Especially with potentially a 4th coming down as Zealot clears the Marine. As he puts a pylon in the... I mean, I feel like that would have been the 4th base slot. Xian may well be working under the assumption there is a 3rd base now. And... Zealot? Well, at this point, he's probably going to guess that there isn't. Because that's a big chunk of terror moving across the map. And he's going to need... Disruptor. Performs the first traditional fresh air shot of the tournament. Or at least of our view of the tournament. Yep, Observer just charges the Vikings through the scan. These rocks are going to be a big pain here as allowing these Vikings to shell these Colossus pretty much unopposed as these tanks are just whittling away this Xian's army. Found himself into a really good position here, takes a decent Disruptor hit, but not a devastating one. And Vikings moving forward, taking another angle to... Doesn't quite manage to get the Colossi. Lost a couple of Vikings now. Shield batteries are really putting in work here so far. Changes up the angle. Yeah, I don't think you're going to get that from there. Yeah. Kills the Disruptor. Forces the 3rd base to be abandoned. Liberator's moving forward now. That's going to make things quite difficult for the Stalkers. Siege tanks and Liberators just make such an awkward field for the Protoss to try and move into. However, spots the tanks on siege. Colossus gets focused down. Got a couple of Disruptors now. He's got an Archon. Does still have splash damage. Liberators might be a little bit far forward here. One of them will get focused down. But a lot of Protoss went down for that. And there's still a huge amount of bio here. Another Disruptor gets about a Marauder. Tanks are getting low now. However, Coffee has moved into the natural. Really good spot here. And Xian taps out. Allowing Coffee to move on in the uppers bracket. Strong showing there from someone I don't think... Probably one of the lower ranked players in the tournament. Against Xian, who is definitely not. I'm not exactly sure where he stands, but... Regardless, thank you for watching this week. And I hope to see you guys next time with more games from Katovice.